I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm trying to make it better. But I'm only human.
Welcome back to another video. In today's video we are at spring barley. So we've started our massive spring barley harvest. We've got 5.5 acres to go at, so it's going to take us about the whole of an hour and a half to get cut. So yeah, feck all to do really, but it seems to be yielding fairly nice, so that is the main thing. But I'm just heading off with the first roughly 9 ton here. So I'm just going to get this brought over to our grain merchant and I'll come back for another load. But as I said, yeah, it seems to be yielding pretty decent, so happy enough. But O'Byrne's are back in again with their John Deere combine. But I'm going to make a guess now and say there's hopefully about 9 ton on the load at about 16.5% moisture. So we'll see how accurate I am. But the trailer looks well. I've got the new tyres on, the painted rims, the painted sides. It's not the first load of grain I've hauled with it. I was helping out with a bit of winter oats earlier, so that was the first bit of grain I put through her, but first bit of our own grain. So we'll get down here to the merchant and see what's on the load. But as always, I'm driving our Case Maxim 150. I was talking about our 16-foot Ken Wooten trailer on the back that I re-sprayed myself over the summer. I think that's enough talking for here at the start of the video, so I'll put the camera down and pay attention to what I'm doing and get down to the merchant.
When I'm blue, I think of you in your eyes, how they look at mine, so kinda like that. You slow down time and everything's just fine. I was ocean swimming with just wishbone thinking of my life, the vision drifting by, until I found a lighthouse in your heart, shining like a beacon of bright stars. How did life go wandering far, until I found a lighthouse in your heart, guiding me out the when I'm scared, I send a flare and you're here in a flash. When I ask, oh dear love, where did we come from? You say that like the sun, I had the will and mission, but the wrong position. I was hoping, praying for a sign, until I found a lighthouse in your heart, shining like a beacon of bright stars. How did life go wandering far, until I found a lighthouse in your heart, guiding me out the dark.
Well, I'm just out of the grain merchant now. It's absolute mayhem in there. But grain was 17.7, which pretty bang on. I'm not going to complain about that. And 64 bushels, so that is not too bad at all. I didn't actually look at the docket to see how much was on the load, but I will tell you once I'm back in the field. I'm just conscious now the combine could be waiting because it has taken me a while there. I had to kind of bully my way onto the weighbridge to get back out because there's so many lads trying to get in, but that's just the time of year it is, so we'll bait on back to the field now, and hopefully the combine hasn't been sitting around for too long because I know they want to get back and start cutting oats, so need to get hurried on back. I'm just looking here at the docket and there was 8.6 tons on it, so not quite 9, but that's not too bad. So now it is the next day and I've just got the second load on here and we're going down to weigh it and get the moisture reading, so we'll know exactly what this 5.5 acres has yielded. I wouldn't say this load is as full as the other one, but hopefully it'll bushel a bit better, so it'll hopefully weigh about the same as the last one. If we got another 8.5 ton, that'd be 17 ton off the 5.5, so you're over 3 ton an acre, which is pretty good for spring barley. But I think that's enough talking for now, so I'll pick the camera back up when we're down in the marchant. Well, that is the load tipped up, so moisture came down a tiny bit. It was down to 17.5 and nearly 65 bushels, 64.8, so that's not too bad. But there was only 7.7 tons on that load, which is a bit disappointing. I was hoping for a bit more, as I said, but we'll work out when we get back to the yard how much that actually is. Tonnage per acre is what I'll work out. So hopefully it's close to 3 ton. So I'm just back in the yard now and I'll work out what we have. So it was 8.6 plus 7.76 is 16.36. Divide that by 5.5 is 2.975. Just barely off the 3 ton mark. That's a little annoying. You would like to see it hit 3 ton, but so be it. That'll do it for the grain anyway. I think I'll leave this all in the one video, so we'll get at the straw now tomorrow or the next day and we'll see what happens, but I'll put the camera down now and pick it up another day. Right, so it's been a few days since I've talked to myself, or as some people say, recorded a bit for this video. So the straw has had a bit of rain on, it's had a bit of sun, a bit of wind, a bit of everything, but it's pretty close to being fit for baling now. So the plan is to put most of it in big rounds and then I'm gonna small square bale a little bit. So we didn't small square bale any last year, but the year before, some people may have seen it, but we run the small square baler on this John Deere. So this is actually the first time I've ever recorded a video in this, which is mad, because I actually do drive it a bit, but it's usually just doing odd jobs I don't video. But I'll jump out here and get the baby leaf gear off and then we'll go hook up to the baler. But I think I might have to move the beat lifter first. I'll just have to see what it's like down there, but I think that's what I'll do. So put the camera down, get this stuff off, and I'll pick it back up in a few minutes when we're down in the tunnel. So now I have the beat puller on the back and I'm gonna try get it up out of the tunnel because we need to stack straw in here. Just need to be careful of what I'm doing. I tell you, it's hard to drive a tractor like this with small little mirrors on it when I'm used to the case with the real big ones. You can see everything. Whereas with this, it's a little more difficult, but we'll get her out here nonetheless. Just reverse her back and get a little further away from these bales. I feel like my face is very red, so it probably is. So I deeply apologise. But that is the difficult bit done now. So we'll get out of here, and I think I'm going to leave this up in the cattle shed for now. There's a bit of work we need to do to it before she can go pull beat, but not too much. I've actually completely changed my plan now. So instead of having the spring barley all in one video, the grain and the straw, we're going to separate them into two because I don't feel like editing a really big video. There's a surprise coming in the straw video. That's the reason I'm going to split it in two. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and it'll be up next Saturday hopefully, and you'll get to see that video. Should be quite a decent one. But I'll put the camera down and I'll see you in the next one.